How to turn on the laptop without a power button. This is one of the questions that is often asked by people, especially when their power button laptop is completely damaged. These tips will ensure that your laptop's booting goes as smoothly as possible, even if you cannot overcome the damage temporarily or permanently. Many of those giving tips on how to turn on a laptop without a power button recommend processes that require the laptop case to be fully opened, and while we recommend this process, we will show you how in some cases, how to turn on a laptop without power button using the keyboard. Don't like to read? Listen to the audio or watch the YouTube video. Also, press the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Different ways to turn on a laptop without a power button. Beginners should know that if the power button stops working, you will likely have to open your laptop. This gives you access to the circuit and bypasses cables that work with the power switch. The first thing you will need to take apart your laptop to get access to the components. The power switch on your computer acts as a point for two connections. When you press these two connections, it completes an entire circuit sending a power on signal to the motherboard. At this point, you need to find these two connections and pinch them together, which is the job of the power button, and your laptop will turn on. This is the easiest way to turn on your laptop without the power button. However, if you are unsure of the best way to open your laptop components, be aware that there are other ways to turn on your laptop without the button. Below are some of the alternative methods for turning on your laptop when the power button has stopped working and you don't want to touch the hardware components. How to turn on a laptop without a power switch using the motherboard. Open the laptop case and locate the port that the power switch's ribbon cable is connected to. You now need to disconnect the power switch. Get a small wire and short circuit the first and third pins of the power switch connector. If that doesn't work on your laptop, you can shorten all of the pins at the same time. It doesn't do any harm, so don't worry. If you short the circuit correctly, the laptop should boot up in no time. Opening or shorting out your laptop every time can lead to long-term hardware problems, especially if it's a computer that you don't want to get rid of. In the meantime, before you repair the power button, there are other ways to safely start your computer without the power button. How to turn on a laptop without a power switch using the internet. The Wake on LAN is a common feature on modern laptops. With this technology, you can shut down your computer and use the internet to signal your shutdown computer that it is time to turn it on again. Depending on your setup, enabling Wake on LAN requires different steps, but you can enable it whether you have a Mac or Windows PC. Once configured, you will have a choice of third-party applications that you can use to send your computer's power on signal. Once Wake on LAN is activated, use an app like TeamViewer, which supports different devices and operating systems, to turn your laptop on quickly and easily without using the power switch. Note, while this is a common feature, you need to make sure your laptop supports Wake on LAN. If the online search doesn't easily answer your question, upload it to your BIOS and see if there is a Wake on LAN option. How to turn on a laptop without a power button using a keyboard. Many laptops can be turned on by pressing a key on the keyboard. This is not enabled by default, but if your laptop supports it, you can switch it to the BIOS. Enter the BIOS setting interface. The first time you turn on your computer, you can access the system BIOS by pressing a special key. This varies depending on the manufacturer, but the most common is the DEL or F2 key. As the computer starts, a message should appear on the screen telling you which key to use. Otherwise, consult your operating instructions. Find the appropriate setting. The setting is likely to be found in the Power Management section. Look for a setting called Keyboard Power On or something similar. Your computer may have several options for this setting. You can probably choose between any key on the keyboard or just a specific key. Make the changes and follow the instructions to save and exit. Test your settings. After you've found and changed the settings, all that's left to do is a test and make sure it works. It should turn on and start up as if you pressed the power button. Note, if you can't find something like this, chances are you're out of luck as your laptop doesn't support this feature. However, it is best to search online to make sure that your computer does not support this feature, as it may just be difficult to find or it may have been added in a BIOS update. How to turn on a laptop without a power button by opening the cover. This is another way of turning on your laptop without the power button. You can set your laptop to turn on every time you open the lid. It doesn't work every time, but it's one of the easier options. This method will only work if you've configured your laptop to work with the cover on before the power button stops working, or if you find that the power button stops working while the power button is on. The laptop is always on. You can quickly configure the flip cover option on your laptop. How to turn on a laptop without a power switch using a power outlet or extension cord. If you are using a Dell, HP, Asus, Lenovo, Acer, or even Toshiba laptop, this is an option that you might want to try. It's a pretty cool solution for users who don't want to bypass their laptops to turn them on. Find the cable that connects the power switch to the motherboard, disconnect that cable, and leave it unplugged. Now remove the battery from the laptop and plug the laptop into the socket. This should turn it on if the laptop is on. Put the battery back in the laptop, unplug it if you want, and everything should be fine. Note, some laptops may require you to enter your BIOS for the laptop to turn on when it detects AC power. Have your power button repaired. I'm sure this is not the advice you are looking for, but the truth is that at some point you will also need to fix the power switch. It's also refreshing to know that you don't have to break the bank to fix the power switch. It depends on the part of the power button that needs to be fixed. If the power button is misbehaving because the clips holding it loosened or broken, you will need to replace the clips. The cost of changing or attaching the power clips depends entirely on the brand of your laptop. If your primary reason for owning a laptop is for general computing or gaming purposes, for example, it is cheaper and easier to fix the power button compared to using a MacBook. This is because laptops like MacBooks are designed so that they cannot be taken apart by anyone. How does a power button work? Everything takes place on the numerous circuits on the motherboard of your laptop. Each time you press the power button, you create a connection between 2 points on the circuit that send a signal to the motherboard to start up the system. If any of these connection points become loose or damaged, the power button will stop working. Frequently asked questions. How do I replace the defective power switch? If you find that your laptop's power button is defective, you can replace it. These are the steps that you need to follow if you want to do it yourself. Remove the power adapter and battery from the back. Separate the RAM and the hard drive. Take out the keyboard cover. Remove the keyboards. Remove the top frame and find the power button. Please take out the button you do not want and replace it with the new one. Reassemble the laptop. Why won't my laptop turn on? Your laptop may not turn on when it is plugged in. This could be due to insufficient power, battery, or motherboard. Make sure the connection is correct. Check the battery and power connection. It could be a problem with a defective component if it still won't turn on. Conclusion. In summary, there are effective ways to turn on your laptop when the power button stops working, both with and without opening the laptop's motherboard. Power button failure is a common problem that many people experience, so you don't need to worry too much about it. It is easy to fix. Did you like this information? Press the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We will publish new videos regularly. How to turn on the laptop without a power button. This is one of the questions that is often asked.